Alright, folks, we just had a bit of awkwardness. You know what I'm gonna do? I started the game and left. Oh, that would have canceled the countdown. Never mind. I was hoping to do something a little bit more cheeky than I did. Failed to accomplish that much. Anyways, we had a bit of a hiccup getting to the finals. They hosted it, and for some reason, they hosted it with Paradise Lost. And I'm just like, did we get this in the map pool? Because that would be really fucking cool if we did. I really enjoyed that map.
You wish.
Clearly was a mistake, however. Oh, you know what sucks? I just realized Olivia wasn't here the other day when someone finally gave us the secret Olimoleague hack the stream donation.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
No, it's a really stupidly easy to guess number, but I guess it might be a little bit high and not worth doing for such a simple gag. I think it was Leoman who did it. I don't remember, but oh, whoops! I joined the wrong lobby again. Who's got the real lobby?
I don't know. Who does the real lobby?
I'm gonna join up Crank and hope for the best.
Okay. Oh, someone invited me. Shit.
All right, Abyssal Reef.
Okay. Okay.
You know what? Muting the VODs be damned. I want to play this intro once. I worked so hard on it with tempo. We put a lot of effort into it. I really like it. So, if you guys have been wondering what the Ace E emote is all about, pay attention to the intro, specifically at the title scene, and maybe you'll find out what and why.
Secrets.
Just waiting for the start, though, to play the intro. Mouse is over it. Oh, we need TvP. He was still in the other lobby. Or Naruto, rather. There we go. See you guys here in a sec. All right, folks. Welcome back. We are in the grand finals for this week's Olimoleague. In the bottom right, he's blue. He's Terran. It's GuMiho.
In the top left is the red Protoss. It's Deer.
All right, well, GuMiho has been impressing the heck out of people lately between IEM and his games just regularly, but Deer kind of, I don't know, like Dark Horse doesn't feel like the right phrase to give him, but he has been just kind of coming out of nowhere, a player that we haven't seen regularly be successful on the stream, and he's 2-0, 2-0, 2-0'd all the Terrans that he's had to fight so far.
Yeah, supposedly a pretty hard matchup these days. Not so for Deer.
Well, not so for anyone who can make Phoenix Adept, apparently.
Yeah, am I right? Am I right?
No, I mean, as much as we like to have fun with it, guys, at the end of the day, Zomgrab and I are totally aware that some of these strategies will only work in select scenarios, but it is hard to look at and be like, wow, that doesn't look strong. That doesn't look really good.
Yeah, it's what seems to be working lately, but it's definitely not overpowered. If it was, the IEM would have much different results, I think. Still no spoilers.
What's kind of really disappointing, though, is I think of a lot of things that you could try and do to counter that, right? Like, let's say you're like, okay, you know what, Phoenix Adept, maybe I can go toe-to-toe with my own air units. And to that, the answer is a very stark nope. Because Void Race, because Phoenix, because everything that the Protoss army makes is just going to shut down Terran air. It's so bad.
Mm. Well, I think what's going to happen, though, is that, we're going to look at a live series versus Deer and be like, what the fuck do you do? And then GuMiho will probably have a better answer. It's what happened when we saw Hero play against him, as opposed to Innovation, and it's just, GuMiho and Alive, they're kind of at the same level when it comes to the Olimoleague, because they've been in every single one almost, and they've won a lot of them, but they're different players, for sure.
Yeah. I just realized, oh, this is a bit odd to see, Engineering Bay Block. I just noticed those people started spamming Ace Tempog and Ace E, just like Tempo's trying to eat me and I'm running away from him.
What? Uh-oh. Run, little shrimp Rifkin.
No, this is not an all-you-can-eat buffet, Tempo. Leave me alone.
Okay, you're a disgusting-looking shrimp, I gotta say. Like, don't need
wow,
don't need a yellow shrimp.
Are you shrimp shaming me right now? Are you for real?
I am. Why are you yellow? I honestly thought you were a seahorse.
Because I'm fresh. Oh, I guess it is a seahorse,
shrimp aren't yellow.
I guess it is a seahorse. But I can still say, like, I know I look... Some seahorses are yellow.
What shrimp are you eating?
I'm not eating any shrimp. I hate seafood. You know this.
And that's why we have a yellow shrimp.
It's not a shrimp. It's a seahorse.
Oh, okay. Well, you keep calling it shrimp. So
you keep calling it shrimp.
No, I called it a seahorse when I first saw
it. I know,
it.
and I'm saying, look, I'm a seahorse. Don't mistake me for a shrimp. Don't eat me.
Oh, fuck off. Anyways. Enchantment Bait block is not too common from GuMiho. It's actually a lot more of a TY special. GuMiho does an exit to be worthwhile in this game.
I'm trying to get over the way the conversation ended. That was like a really satisfying fuck off.
I'm glad you're so satisfied.
Alright, Robo coming down out of Deer. I mean, I don't want him to be boring. I don't want him to be dull. I don't want him to go Colossus like we see so regularly. I would love for this to be something like a fast Warp Prism speed, gravitic drive into disruptors. But it's a pretty good chance he just, plays it straight to the close to the vest.
Yeah, despite his Phoenix Adept working out versus Alive, deciding to mix things up in a best of 5 does usually work out better for the Protoss. Like, eventually their respective styles, kind of the 2 different styles they can really go for, macro-wise, it's better to mix them up. So, GuMiho, I don't know if he was watching that last series. Kind of hope he was. Seems to be a good idea before you go into a tournament, but might be expecting it, might not. But yeah, GuMiho has been doing this build on this map in particular because it's very useful.
Yeah, it's the
Deer
fast.
seems to know about it, or maybe his observer is just coincidentally placed in that location. I don't know.
Well, it's just, this attack is so fast hitting, and the tank ends up being a little bit more unexpected in a lot of these scenarios. Not to mention, you've just got so many Marines that you could probably actually take on whatever comes to fight you. But leaving 2 Marines on the high ground looks a little bit funny, but it will sustain the high ground vision as the medevac has to pull back.
I like this a lot. The medevac oftentimes will get pulled away because it's healing or because it's in your control group or something, right?
Oh.
Deer going the long way around. I don't think he wanted to catch a second tank before the siege, and now it's just kind of awkward. He's going to have to counter? I don't think it'll work, though.
Liberator sits up at home. Tank got a little bit of splash damage on these units, too, so they won't be fully healed coming into the fight. He actually turns around, maybe? He just stops at the grass. Deer a little bit indecisive what he wants to do to try and break this, but GuMiho's tanks, I mean, let it be said, tanks are going to beat Colossus if it comes down to it, but not if they're busy fighting against gateway units. Caught in the backside.
Yeah, he wanted to focus fire the Colossus. Looks like, yeah.
Oh, this
focus
is going so
fired after
badly.
a shot went off. I mean, the trade is still probably worthwhile, especially if you get these other 2 stalkers.
Doesn't look pretty well, though.
Okay. Okay, alright, well. I still think it was a good, decent push from GuMiho. Deer's third base is delayed as much as it, could be. It's not like he's run away with probe counts. And GuMiho is perfectly fine with his economy. He doesn't have a lot of production with barracks, which is like one of the downsides, but he does have Stimmen +1 on the way.
Shrimp shaming in 2017. Welcome to Trump's America.
You can't just go around asking people why they're yellow.
Actually, so I wonder, that's a phrase, like I'm thinking back to old movies and stuff, and this is not something that's meant to be too abrasive, but the phrase, because you think of like old cowboy, I'm thinking like strictly old cowboy movies, right? It's like, are you yellow boy? And it's usually meant to be a cowardice. Is that associated with because there's like some stigma that like Asians were cowards, or is that just like...
I'm like 99% sure it is, but I don't actually know.
Because like I say, I don't know that being a stereotype. Like, there's hilariously bad stereotypes, like, oh, Asians can't drive, right? Like, but I've never heard like, oh, Asians are just scared people. Like, just afraid of the dark, like all the time. Like, I've never heard that before.
I'm not sure exactly where it would have arrived, but for me it makes sense. Like Wild Wild West, think of like the only ever time you ever see any Asians in Wild Wild West movies is like being fillers in the background working on railroads. So
are we talking
they didn't
Wild
exactly have
West
good representation.
or Wild West, Zombie Grove?
Shut up. No, we're not getting into this.
Wiki wild. All right, attack comes down on the front side of us. We can see the tanks, unfortunately, we're kind of wasting their shots on the pylons. So the Colossus get in here and easily deal with this. This was should have been a good attack out of GuMiho. Went terribly for him.
It's not the worst, but yeah, I don't know if I really like that attack. It would have been worse if the Warp Prism had warped in, I can tell you that much. But without it, it looks like GuMiho still has an okay situation going on here. Combat Chills isn't done. There's only one Liberator, but Deer is going to have trouble pushing down that ramp into GuMiho, which GuMiho is still trying to, I think, bank on a little bit.
Well, we got DT Shrine coming up too, which will help break this for sure. He's kind of choked in the back though, and right now it's very awkward. There's not an easy way to maneuver between this pathway.
Oh, that's gonna let GuMiho get up the ramp. I mean, that might backfire on GuMiho, to be honest. Oh, he gets that pylon warping and stalkers. Alright.
Vikings is pushing forward, not a lot to push back against them. One of the Colossus looks like it's going to be a freebie. Hold position really hurting him. I thought for certain, like, maybe he was warping in elsewhere, not paying attention, but that Colossus just went down for no reason.
No, that was a very lucky snipe, easy snipe for GuMiho, and now he's repositioned to the left side. Gonna find some gateway units that aren't protected. The Vikings are gonna go to town to the Colossus as they come forward, and the Vikings still aren't being focus fired. Finally.
Tank also helps get the last shot. With the Colossus going down, the bio becomes so much more powerful. Marauders are just gonna have no problem killing these stalkers. And this is looking like a pretty good game one for GuMiho.
Yeah. Pushing through, even though Deer looked okay against the tank pushes, GuMiho just still had a powerful rally. Upgrade lead probably helped a little bit as well, and that's that.
Okay. Thank you, chat. This actually makes a lot more sense, by the way. GG's GuMiho. When people talk about yellow equals pissing your pants because you're scared and running away, that doesn't seem logical, but it makes sense to me.
I don't, because they always say yellow belly. Like, it's not.
Do they say yellow belly? Is that maybe it's a bird that's scared of things.
Yellow belly.
Yellow belly, a coward. Any various animal with yellow underparts. Thanks, Google. That was not helpful. Oh, origin of this phrase. The term yellow belly is an archetypal. Beginning in England, blah blah. The person's born in the fens. What? Like through eels? This feels like trolling.
Apply to birds that literally have a yellow belly. I don't. Why? Really? It doesn't. It still doesn't seem right.
Baby chickens are yellow. You know what? I thought for a second we had a definitive answer because 3 people agreed, but now everyone else is like disagreeing. I don't know what's the truth.
Yeah, right. Like everyone is like, yeah, P, and then everyone's like, no. I don't. We don't know what it is.
Well, one thing we do know is what the next map is going to be. So we load into Cactus Valley. Whoop, whoop.
What? A yellow belly or a yeller belly is a person from Lincolnshire, England. Why are there so many origins of this?
I guess this is like, you know what? This actually goes... I'm going to get really nerdy with this for a second, right? I'm thinking Green Lantern. And, you know, like, yellow is supposed to be like fear and stuff, like in that universe.
Yes, I do.
Like, maybe this is just one of those things where there's an origin to this just worldwide. Like, there are literally 14 different origins for each different country, like why yellow means coward, right? Like for some, yeah, yellow like a scared little chicken. For some, yellow because it's super racist. Yellow because you are pissing your pants running away in England, whereas like in Mexico you found a bird that's scared. Like, I don't know. That's actually kind of interesting to think about, in all honesty.
There's a whole paper that's talking about the Lincolnshire Fens, and I don't. Well, it's something. I'd say the more you know, but we still don't really know.
Actually, this has got me thinking a lot more than I thought it would. But okay, let's put that on pause. We get into game number 2 for the finals of this week's Olimoleague. Quick reminder, if you guys do want access to the replays, if you'd like a chance to see these games firsthand and find the things that we didn't so accurately observe, the only way to get them is through the Patreon, as we do not hand these out to our subscribers. However, if you are a BaseTradeTV subscriber, we just sent out 2 replay packs last night even, of both the in-house Korea show matches as well as the Corsair Cup we recently cast. So if you haven't checked your inboxes, make sure you guys do. But in the top right, we have the red Terran player, GuMiho.
In the bottom right is the blue Protoss. He is Deer.
And then we just got a donation coming in from Marcos4912. Says, I've deleted the phone numbers of all the Germans I know from my mobile phone. Now it's Hans free. Kappa. $6.90. I don't know if you can hear the smile on my face, but I love that donation message.
Well, gives Rifkin a good tickle right there.
Trying to think of like other variations of that.
Got the nation.
Get rid of all the French people from my phone book, so now it's France free.
Nah.
That's stretching it. Yeah, that's like a 4 out of 10 at best. Thank you, Marcos, for outpunning me today. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so what do we got going on here?
We got people.
Valley.
I'll tell you what, we got people in chat still discussing the yellow coward origin stories.
Of course. It's got to come back around every 3 minutes.
Because the topic keeps running away. Scared and comes back.
It's scared. Oh my god.
Yeah, Cactus Valley could be an interesting map for a couple of different reasons, but I'm wondering, like, if Deer had successfully scouted, would that probe have been used for a proxy or not? I mean, GuMiho just kind of showed in a longer game, he's going to have no problem going toe-to-toe Deer. It started off, though, with that weird tank push, and it is worth noting that you can't really pull that off on Cactus Valley. Not the same way, not to the same success. And no. I guess, granted, that wasn't really that successful anyways.
GuMiho has a couple other pushes in his pockets. He's building a Cyclone right now, and I kind of wonder if he's going to do the Cyclone push.
So, that was cool. GuMiho scouted, Deer cleans it up, cancels, goes for a Stargate.
Yeah, clever. I think... Well, I don't know what this is going to be. GuMiho did a Cyclone push in another game, like 2 days ago or something like that, and 3 days ago, whatever. And it kind of like, it was just like it was a what am I drop and then Cyclone medevac, Cyclone medevac, Cyclone medevac, and it just kept on going, and it was, to be honest, kind of a useless investment after a time. This doesn't look like that. First of all, this course there's no Widow Mine, but he is still getting a second Cyclone, and maybe still getting a medevac. Yeah, there you go. So this could still turn into multiple attack routes for the Cyclones. You know, one in the front, one in the main, 2 in the front, 2 in the main. And it's a surprising unit to see this early on, not proxied, not all in.
This Cyclone is like just turning really hard right now.
Yeah. Oh, didn't expect to be caught by the Adepts, otherwise they get
He's gonna trade out though. 2 Adepts go down as the Cyclone does.
Okay, that wasn't that bad. But GuMiho's gotta be careful not to fall prey to this Oracle, and not pick up his Marines. I think a Cyclone is out though. But it's gonna...
Oracle's gonna speed by. That's a little bit awkward on this side of the map too while this goes on. So the pylon ended up getting finished off. But the Oracle comes in and there's not a lot of defense at home because GuMiho has brought everything across the map. Medevac included into the main, dropping on aim. That Mothership Core, regardless of being alive or dead, doesn't have the energy to stop the drop. And the Cyclone is just going to turn into that third.
One of those depths will be targeted down pretty quickly. The Oracle does not end up getting as many kills as I thought it would because, of course, it had to chase for so long. Only had so much energy. So not too bad for GuMiho. Still wants to do more damage to Deer, though, before we can really call it even. Canceling a third would be good. The micro. Gonna lose the medevac, though. Oh, is he, though? Is he? Is he? The Marines really want to get that Phoenix. There it is. There it gets it. That was messy, though. And Deer... He did cancel the third base, I believe, but it's still, you know, he had to cancel it.
Yeah, income graph spiked a little bit there because he had to pull so many of the probes away from mining on top of the fact that he lost some. But the Cyclones have been surprisingly, I'm going to say effective, but I say effective with like a question mark. This one was a lot better than the other, for example. But kills some of the SCVs building the barracks. A little bit annoying, but not devastating.
Okay, so...
Oh my god. This guy in chat figured it out, Zombie Grub. Protoss is mostly yellow. And they ran away from Ire. Because they're cowards.
I was going to bring that up, that Protoss is yellow, but there is absolutely no stereotype for the Protoss are cowards.
They literally ran away from their home planet.
It doesn't matter. Nowhere in the lore you'll ever find someone saying, damn Protoss cowards.
Let it be heard here on March 7th, 2017. Rifkin says, you damn Protoss cowards.
You're not part of the lore. Get over yourself. Jeez.
Part of the real life lore, dog. People are going to be like, talking about StarCraft 2 being kept alive by BaseTradeTV and going through famous quotes. That's gonna be one of them.
Nope, nope, no, no. And you guys can't make it a quote. Don't do it. What does this game look like? Phoenix is gonna control the sky for a while longer and be able to help out eventually if this tank ever decides to push. But that's a long, long time away. I think GuMiho ended up taking the worst trade of everything that's happened in the early game. Not because of the economy, but rather because Deer's economy still gets set up rather, well, what you would like as a Protoss player going for air. Whereas GuMiho's is okay, but I'm looking at that stim, and it's like the tech isn't set up like you would want as the Terran player in a game that looks like this. So.
What do you... Okay, I got it. I got it. You ready for this? What do you call two separate groups of cows running around scared in a field? Cow herds.
Wow, you really had to think long about that one, didn't you?
Maybe.
That was a thinker.
Or maybe I just thought of it just now.
Okay.
Whichever answer is more impressive, let's go with that one.
Okay. GuMiho is almost set up for his push, so it might still end up doing a bit of damage. Stim, combat shields, tank, a lot of medevacs.
Chat's a better observer than you, by the way. Apparently that was not a cancel on that Nexus, and I just checked with the... I keep forgetting there's a Shift K button, to be honest with you. And yeah, Nexus going down for Deer was pretty rough.
I just assumed because he had 700 minerals after the kill, so I was like, well, I must have gotten the money back.
Shame. Shame for
I know,
banking.
shame for me assuming.
Oh, I was putting on a Deer, but yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Trying to have your back, homie.
My bad. Whatever. Stim is finishing up. GuMiho still has to run across the map, and he still has to be worried about the Phoenixes picking up some of these important units or picking off, some of these medevacs. Deer hasn't really run away with the army, even though his third base was up and running for some time. There are a lot of adepts, it's just not as many as I think he might need. And they don't have any upgrades. They have Resident Enclaves, but no attack, no armor. That lack of attack might be a big deal. This actually looks like a kind of lackluster Protoss army, even if the numbers are okay. This could be difficult. Liberator's going to be following this up. +1 armor is going to finish very shortly here, and GuMiho's 2-base attack might just still work.
I don't know. That's a lot of adepts coming in. The Phoenix will be crowd controlling a ton of these units. He splits, he spreads. What am I hit? We'll see if that was going to be good enough. Army supplies are actually holding pretty even on both sides of this. Phoenix is running out of energy, but the Marines and that tank might not hold.
Yeah. The second Warping of Adept seems to have done it. GuMiho still has units coming forward, and these Marines surprisingly staying alive here. It was definitely a bloodbath.
That was certainly rough on both sides, but that's what's really cool about this, because they do both get to recover and deflect. Difference is, though, Deer has the third base to mine off of, Gumi doesn't, and that's where I get worried for GuMiho. He does overextend a little bit with the Adepts. That's going to sting.
I really wonder what would have happened if +1 armor had finished for that attack. I think GuMiho just wins, and then he rallies in Liberators. Yeah, I think GuMiho would have maybe even won, but it was really close. And even if GuMiho had pushed past the first and second line of warp-ins, Deer is warping in off of 8 gateways. So there would have been a third warp-in of still very scary Adepts here. GuMiho has one more push before I think it's just going to be too much to bear. And he's going to try and doom drop it. It's so dangerous. Oh, God. No. No.
The Liberator's actually not doing too bad helping push back the Phoenix, but everybody's done Abundance versus Light. Man, I feel like this whole expansion has been Terran getting nerfs from a position where they weren't really in the place to get nerfs in the first place.
Well, I don't understand the Widowmine nerf because they did the Liberator thing, and they didn't really, in my opinion, give enough time to see if that was enough.
Yeah.
It was like very shortly after, like, oh, we're also looking at a Widowmine. And it's like, well, a lot of people said the Liberator probably wasn't enough. You know what? I would say that it actually was.
I don't think the Widowmine thing would be so bad if it was something you could quickly change out. But as you said, like, you have to give a lot of these changes time, and it's going to suck because that Widowmine change could be devastating and detrimental and could screw Terran over. We're not going to know for 2 months, and they're not going to change it for like 2 months is the problem, if that was the case even.
It really felt like the last patch was like only a couple weeks ago. Time's totally just distorted. But anyways, GuMiho was unable to follow up with an attack, yet still you know, lifting his main command center over, still holding at a decent supply, and still, you know, has these upgrades at least even. No longer severely ahead, but still even. Yeah, these Widowmines get some good shots. The Liberators aren't taken care of. GuMiho's army could still theoretically win.
Okay, that Adept transfer was a little bit awkward and odd, and maybe not even that good. It goes past any potential Widowmine, sure, but it cuts him off from any sort of support from the Phoenix. They're only just now coming to the fight.
GuMiho had responded quicker, that could have been truly devastating, I agree. But it was kind of like, oh, the Adepts are here. Well, now they're really trapped, so okay. I managed to break through the supply depot, but they aren't doing damage really yet. I guess the third base has been under attack while I'm talking here, but only 4 SCVs went down, because I guess like so many of them were pre-pulled to the natural.
So the Widowmine finally got to pop off too, so clean up these Adepts finally here for GuMiho. And this may have just simply been Deer overreaching. Like, okay, he obliterates SCVs, and GuMiho doesn't really have a lot to work with anymore, but GuMiho's army supply now takes a pretty nice lead.
Yeah, he's gonna take the opportunity to try and doom drop, but Phoenix is just still out, man. Like,
but
Deer
he
stopped
didn't see it.
Them. Oh, you're right. Well, now the Observer sees it.
Even if they come back, you know what? The Liberators are here to guard. 5 Liberators. They could certainly buy time for the medevacs. I don't know if it'll be enough time, though. He focuses not on the medevacs, but instead on the Liberators. They dart forward. Now the Marines are unloaded. He's going to start sieging those up, maybe? Yeah, I think sieging much better than fighting the Phoenix with them, but this isn't going to go good for GuMiho. And he doesn't have the money to remake his army, so GG.
I don't know about that doom drop, man. Like, he left a good portion of his army at home, and the Liberators had to make that really tough choice, as opposed to being protected by the bio. They were protecting the bio.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
That was going to be rough either way. Thank you to Jibby25 for the 6-month resub, by the way. He says, I love base trade, and then some emotes, but they're cute and I don't know them. We're going to go to a commercial break really quick just to get out of the way, not to waste anyone's time, and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes for game number 3 when we return. All right, folks, welcome back. Loading into game number 3 as we speak. Just got a brand new sub and a resub hitting us up back to back. Oh, let me get the scores up real quick before we do. Big thank you to the Patent for the 10-month resub. And then, hey, this guy, a little familiar.
Hey.
You guys may have seen him at the end of stream yesterday. We give him a bit of a host. KJ Freedom, a.k.a. the, I guess, owner of Sidestorm Gaming, which is the team this gentleman is on in the bottom right. He's red. He's Terran. He's GuMiho.
In the bottom left is the blue Protoss. He is Deer. Pudong.
Pudong? Yeah, I've missed Zuzu Bubble, man. I'm not gonna lie. I downloaded and played Zuzu Bubble. And I think my mom got hooked on it as a consequence of me playing it. But that game was super adorable, and the music was really addicting. That was a commercial I appreciated.
Pudong made you think of Zuzu Bubbles instead of Pudong.
Well, I mean, I just thought of it because you're like, oh, hey, me eat Korean commercials, right? Like,
of course. Yeah. It's just what I'm gonna say now. There's silence.
Just random Pudongs.
Pudong.
It's kind of like Olimoleague. She does like a toot toot.
Toot toot. Yep, exactly. Deer gonna go for Nexus Expand. I mean, GuMiho did proxy on this map. In fact, 2 Terrans proxied on this map. Surprised Deer doesn't set a probe out the scout, but playing fast and dangerous, man. Watch out. Deer's a reckless guy.
Okay. The last thing you want to do is get caught like a deer in headlights.
Huh. That's the wrong spelling, but...
Oh dear, did I make a mistake?
Yes, you did. What am I drop for GuMiho, I'm gonna guess? The Cyclones, we kind of brought it up last game. The Cyclones looked mediocre. Like, they did enough to kind of make up for the early game like it was going. So it didn't start GuMiho up terribly, but it did start him off worse than a normal macro game would have. And he was so close to just, still having a really good push and still winning the game. It didn't matter. It just didn't quite happen. So I'm kind of expecting just a typical What Am I drop. Maybe he does the Cyclone push after the What Am I drop, like that push I was trying to describe last game. But yeah, not that awkward timed Cyclone at the beginning.
Hey, you know that girl that's into other girls? I think her name's like Klon.
No, that's super, dude. That's so wrong. What the fuck, man?
Well, I feel like Klondike bar is so cliche, and I've done that like a million times.
At
already.
least it's the safe version. Good God. Thank you, Klondike7, for the 13-month resub.
And for the Twitch Prime sub. Sorry that you're in a bit of an earthquake right now, but thank you, and hopefully you'll get through it.
Is that what would happen during an earthquake? Because I don't think that's what would happen during an earthquake. You're not comically talking.
I feel like
to
you're trying to.
to.
No, but you're trying to like type the D, but the keyboard's shaking, so it forces you to type like 3 Ds and then like 5 Is and then like.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I've only experienced one earthquake in my life, and it lasted for like 5 seconds.
I've had quite a scary earthquake experience. Actually, I'll tell you guys about later. But
I was kind of hoping that you would go for like a sex joke for that one.
I'm trying to figure out where that's going. All I can think of is like that one scene in like Beer Fest where like the you know what I mean?
Okay, you know. Anyways, that Widow Mine tried to. It was like an alive turret as a Widow Mine, and Deer just went around it. So,
but
7 SCV kills.
That's what I was just talking about earlier with Deer, especially again, Oracle control with Deer seems to be like top notch all the time, always. And he's good at predicting. He knows how to be on the edge of the. I told you guys, like there's 3 spots. If I know, then Deer knows. Edge, middle, satellite dish. And unfortunately, I really liked for a while. People were hiding it behind the refineries, but I guess it's just like too high up on this map, so it wouldn't make sense to put there. Either way, good predictions out of Deer. He loses a couple probes to that Reaper, and GuMiho is going to go for the assault. Picks up and flies away.
Yeah, he did lose the Oracle to the second Widow Mine, and that's probably because he anticipated the second Widow Mine to be dropped. And then there's a third one too, so like, well, at some point, Widow Mine's gonna catch that Oracle.
My concern though is this out of GuMiho is already him being down a pretty good chunk of workers. He got some good work on that Nexus. It's half dead. If he can finish this off, he'll be in a much better spot for it. But right now, it's a little bit tough. Marines coming on in. Overcharge will push them back. Harry Bottom.
Harry Bottom.
I feel like it's like a crank called on The Simpsons or something. Is there a bottom? A Harry Bottom? I got a Harry Bottom over here.
Well, if you say it like that.
Why, you little.
The new sub. This does not look like it's gonna kill the Nexus. I'm not sure it has the ability to kill more than 10 probes, and GuMiho starts off not so great.
Looks like the one I managed to pop off, by the way, and catch some of the Phoenix, so not too bad. GuMiho, let's get back home in defense. Nothing this time. What am I taking out of the mineral lines? Marines are at the front door. He's going to pull SCVs, or he's going to take a couple of losses. Yeah, a couple of them will go down.
This is just adding on to Deer's lead here, and we're going to come to this point once again where GuMiho might have a decent 2-base push, combat shield, stim, +1 and all, but Deer's going to have a pretty baller economy to work a lot of gateways off of, and it's just, barely going to work out. Seems to be the name of most of Deer's games, to be honest. I think the Widow Mines were cleaned up. Yeah, Phoenix is going to try and give chase to the medevac. Totally worth doing. And while Deer is missing the push at the fronts, it's not that bad of a push. It's not even going to have stim. It's going to blitz into the third base, but really just kind of walk into the third base.
I'm really worried. There's so many Phoenix. Like, this is always so risky to do. But GuMiho in the last game was able to get away with these drops. Looks like once again he'll get away with them. But just simply unloading them is not enough. There's enough Phoenix you can actually pick up several of these Marines, especially with the Adepts coming into the fight too. So lifts them up, kills them, crowd controls them, whatever you want to call it. But the point is, Deer pushes his back and GuMiho gets shut down.
You can live, Marine. You are good. Third base is also cleaned up by a Warp and Impotent Overcharge, and GuMiho is just not doing enough damage.
I hope GuMiho has got a Kleenex to deal with the tears from all these Phoenix.
Ah, that was a rhyme, not a pun. I gotcha. Very good. Phoenix gets taken out, but that's okay. Deer still has a lot of Adepts. They're going to have +1. They have the Resonating Glaives. They're looking for a third base. Hey, there isn't one. And I'm not sure they can break the natural. No, they can't. Not with a wall. Not with a wall, Deer. You can't break it. Don't do it. I just need to listen to me, Rifkin.
Because you're not speaking loud enough or slow enough. And what I've learned from TV is that's how you get people who don't speak English to understand you better.
Well, okay, I've
Do
always
you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
So I've always had like a very small issue with the whole like, why in the world would you ever speak louder and slower and hope they understand you? And that's absolutely true for people who just like literally do not speak the language at all. But for anyone who's just like has at least some words in their knowledge, that does help.
Well, you know what?
Because you're enunciating, but whatever.
I always just imagined it just came from being frustrated that they didn't understand what you were saying. So you're speaking louder.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't want someone to just like, you know, say something fast and fast and kind of quiet and be like, oh, I guess she doesn't understand me. Where I'm like, you know, I took.
Oh my God! What did Deer just do?
Well, he just lost one to Phoenix.
Excuse me. What did Deer just do?
He lost a lot of Phoenix. This is the senior friendly cast going on here. Grandpa, Can you hear me?
Get your early bird discount, guys.
Dinner's coming up. GuMiho's making a game out of this. He's gotten some harassment in. DR is definitely overextended, I think, kind of officially twice, even though the Adepts didn't really take much damage for it. The Phoenixes definitely did. DR still has the upgrades, still has the army supply lead, and of course has had this third base a lot longer. Oh no, chaos in the main.
Yeah, a lot of Adepts got warped in. This was pretty nice. Transfers through. GuMiho's doing what he can to clean this up. Oh my lord. Do you see that? My God, that was a good Widowmine shot.
That hurts.
So GuMiho hype on the Widowmine, but the problem is there's still 71 army supply of Deer coming on in. GuMiho's sitting here with not much to fight against it. Deer has made so many mistakes. I'm just going to say that. Like flying the Phoenix and giving them away. Adepts kind of clumping up like that through the transfer. And yet he still has just so much more to work with. Not seeing GuMiho play this badly, but this army fight's not going to go well for him.
No. I actually played quite well despite being at disadvantage.
Well, luckily, this isn't the end of the series for good old GuMiho. He's got a best of 5, not a best of 3, so he is now officially on his last life, but has a chance to come back. We'll give him a moment, though, to pick the map. We'll go to one more commercial break. We'll see you guys soon. Hey, everybody. We're hopping into Belshire Vestige for the next map. And this could, again, be the last one, possibly. GuMiho is down in the series, 2-1. Deer looking to clean this up. Again, like before you even get into the game, Deer has had an amazing run versus Terran today.
Yes, he has. And I don't know what happened in that first game to make him lose it. It's 2-1, right?
Yes, as I've
but
said,
it must have been a fluke. Yes.
times.
Yeah, whatever, man. It was the Colossus game. That's why. Because he went Colossus. That's the obvious answer.
Actually, I want to make fun of that, but that's actually probably true. It's the unconventional and different plays that have been working out better for him. But speaking of unconventional and different plays, not staying at home with that first SCV, in the top left, we got the red Terran, GuMiho. Who, did he do this? He did this last time on Belshire, right?
Yeah, and then Hero scouted it. In the bottom right is the blue Protoss. He is Deer.
It's the year of Deer. He has no fear.
If you're expecting me to help, you're mistaken.
Building stargates that are so near. Oracle spawn. Like a
Terran
seer.
Wait. I
Turning
can't help with
the
rhymes.
SCVs into a smear.
But I'm gonna just throw it out that I don't think Deer was planning on proxying a Stargate.
No, but it rhymed, okay, and I couldn't. I was on a roll. I couldn't stop.
Okay, he's realized what the build is. Of course, he's gonna get that Zealot. The Zealot's gonna soak up at least a couple of the Reaper shots. It is worth getting, but it's not a Reaper, so okay, it's still worth getting. Like any amount of damage or soaking up that buys time for other more important units is good.
Yeah, the proxy Cyclone, which is most likely to follow this, is going to be the most dangerous element of it. And I don't think you actually need a Reaper if you've got Marines covering said cyclone. The most annoying thing about the cyclone is like if it does actually get surrounded by probes, for example, it will go down, as dumb as that is, whereas like it can kite stalkers and adepts all day. So this is a situation where I really like the choice of Marines over the Reaper. Also, just kind of playing Ring Around the Rosie with his probe. I mean, Hero on the brain. Deer did scout, and he saw that, okay, GuMiho's base is totally empty. You know it's a proxy. The problem is guessing what kind of proxy it is, because you have to respond to this very differently. Like, if there's Cyclones coming versus, like, a Siege Tank coming versus a Banshee coming, right? Like, he doesn't know yet, and I'm actually really curious about the choice to go for a tech lab on the factory.
Deer's all over this.
Oh no!
Like he re-scouted the main, you know, and he just scouts everything here
I think
anyway.
GuMiho just lost.
I think so as well.
The overcharged pylon's gonna shut all of this down.
A lot of this is started with the fact that Deer didn't just scout, but he also was going for a one base opener anyway. Otherwise, this might have been fine.
If he had actually gone straight for the Cyclone, I'm not actually sure if that would have been out in time even to stop this.
It would have been out, but I'm not sure it would have survived posted overcharge with the stalker shots. I don't know. This is bad news, man. GuMiho's still gonna try and play through, but it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Deer's gonna counter. GuMiho does have a wall, so I'm not sure Deer could end the game right now. He's gonna try.
I guess a Liberator will be up. Bunker might buy a little bit of time. Oh, the pylon. It's going to be so dirty. Oh, the Stalkers are just kind of like, oh, yeah, we may have overreached just a little bit here.
Yeah, right? Especially with the Stalkers. Or the SCVs repairing that Cyclone. One of these pylons is about to finish, even though it's quite low.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got the overcharge. He's going to pop it. I really wish he would have saved it for the top one, to be honest, or canceled it if he wasn't going to go through with it, but... this will open the wall. Maybe?
If that Zella had attacked once, that Spidey would be dead. Oh, again! Stupid Zella.
Alright, so GuMiho's actually going to hold on here. I really thought this was going to be game over the second this got shut down the way it did. Big thank you to Scarlett for hosting us here at the end of the stream today. Big love. Thank you very much. Let's hope for game 5 now, especially, right? But this is so tough. GuMiho is in such a difficult position, and he holds on through it. Meanwhile, a burning factory scouts the other side of the map. He'll confirm, oh, there's a Stargate down. I mean, what a surprise. It's Deer. What a surprise, right? But confirms the Stargate, knows this, the factory's going to crash. Factory, in my opinion, should totally do damage upon crashing. You got to think it's a giant building. It's like dropping a bomb.
StarCraft doesn't make sense.
I mean, the Alexander does a ton of damage when it lands. Rip. I guess it blows up in space and doesn't land, so maybe it does make sense then.
Trying to find logic in a StarCraft game. I don't know. There's logics. Logics. If there was logic, oracles wouldn't be as speedy as they are. They would have never gotten buffed.
Oh, you.
Oh. Bringing back the old, super old buffs no one cares about anymore.
Logic buffs include Warp Prism and 6 range and speed increase with an ability to upgrade its speed even further in game.
The Warp Prism was supposed to be so much more broken than it was. Okay, I'll give them credit for that. I was flipping fucking tables when I heard that was gonna have 6 pickup range.
I know, and like I'll give it credit. Like it's actually made for some really cool, really sick micro in some situations. But for the most part, I feel like it's kind of tilt-inducing. Either way, congratulations to Deer. He only drops 1 map in today's tournament. He Terran after Terran after Terran. GuMiho in the finals. Congratulations to him. Which is really cool because I had mentioned before, Stats had to drop out of the BTSL, and Deer confirmed wanting to take a spot and replacing him. So yeah, we'll get to see a little bit more Deer on the channel in the near future. If you guys haven't seen, we've talked about it to death. We're casting every single day this month. We've got a tournament every day. Some are going to be in the Korean time zone. Some are going to be the European time zone. Some are going to be the North American time zone. But the big thing that we're crunching out this week is going to be like 5 days of Ting in a row. We got each of the groups. So Europe, North America, Wildcard, and Korea. Then the round of 8. That round of 8 is going to be really interesting because it's gonna determine who the 4 players that we fly out to California are gonna be. But that starts all tomorrow. So tomorrow's gonna be the European group. Wednesday. Oh, you know what? I don't know if this is the Team Liquid calendar. I'll have to do that later. But tomorrow's going to be the European group on Wednesday, the wildcard group on Thursday, Korea group on Friday, Saturday group's NA, and then, of course, Sunday is going to be that round of 8. After that, immediately is going to be the Corsair monthly finals, then the Olimoleague again, then we just keep going through things. We got something every single day until we leave to California for that Corsair, for the Ting finals at the Corsair headquarters in California. By the way, I should note, Scarlett hosted us, so I'll bring it up while we got you guys here. I believe on the 11th they're planning to do a 24-hour stream at the Korea house again. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but the cooking stream reward for the Majorino page is going to be done at the same time. So we'll make sure to advertise the heck out of it, make sure everybody knows and is aware of what's going on. But that should be pretty fun, I think. So lots to look forward to both on the channel and off.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do a little bit of shilling at the end of the stream, so I'll let you go first. Anywhere people can find you, final words, goodbyes, etc.?
Follow me on Twitter at ZG Gaming, on Twitch at ZombieGrub, and please follow me on my YouTube. It's also ZombieGrub.
Did you upload your shot of our co-op mission yesterday yet, by the way?
I did.
Definitely worth checking out, because there's a lot of fails, guys. We had a... I can't even, like, we had a 2-second, like, we were 2 seconds from finishing on one of our fails. It made me so mad. So close. But, of course, the one I really want to push out, because it's new, and I'm really on the ball for being new with stuff like this. Nathanius dragged my ass out of bed. We did the Dead of Night first look at the brand new co-op map that's coming out. I will tell you genuinely, I think it's really fun, but you can hear more of my and Nathanius' thoughts. We actually both had our audio on for once, since normally it's difficult to set up for that. So we had a pretty good conversation. We talked a little bit. It was fun. It was good times. Again, I cannot ask for upvotes directly on Reddit, but I see you guys have given me some, so I will say thank you for that. And if some of you would like to continue checking that out, Hard Revenge made a post, which I will link in chat as we end the stream. So thank you again, guys. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good morning, wherever the hell you're from. Thank you to Hearthstone for that resub. Tune in, I guess, to watch Dear Dominance. And, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for the Ting European group. Actually, before we leave, who's actually in that group? Let's go look this up. It's been so long since we've been doing all the Ting stuff. Got kind of waylaid by the Blizzard map contest. The European group is going to be Optimus, Snoot, Nurchio, and Denver. Oh, I forgot about this. This is the group that might be the group of upsets, actually. Because Optimus kicked a ton of ass versus Zerg before, right? So this whole group versus Zerg, we might actually see Optimus finish first or second, as crazy as that is. And then Denver has had a surprisingly good run of ZVZs. It's pretty clear to me like Nurchio or Snoot should be one of the guys out of group, but there is actually the potential Denver and Optimus end up being the two who make it out of the group. It'd be really cool to see something upsetting and insane like that. But, man, our groups actually look fantastic. The Korean group's Beyond Solar, Hero, and Alive. The wildcard group is Joxi, Sue, GuMiho, and Stats. Stats and Sue, by the way, both confirming that even though they're still in GSL, they want to keep playing Ting, so we'll let them. NA group is Semper, M. Canning, Neeb, and True. I actually really like these groups, to be honest.
It's going to be fun times.
Yeah, and of course, for those who missed the update, we are now making all of those best of 5s because best of 3s were too short. Like 2.5 hour 3 broadcasts were too small. The problem is, though, as we experienced yesterday, best of 5s might make it too long. 3-hour broadcast becomes a 6-hour broadcast in some instances. So the nice thing is it's a lot of casting, a lot of games, and hopefully you guys will enjoy things. Winter auto-hosted us. Whoop, whoop. We're on the Winter auto-host. Woo!
Whoa.
But anyways, we are done with the stream, guys. So we're going to end this with a couple of commercials. If you'd like to stick around and watch, we would appreciate it. If not, then go find somebody else to watch. And we'll be hosting someone shortly anyways. Probably Hero Marine, to be honest. But thank you guys again for watching today. Follow the channel. Follow us on Twitter. All that good stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Ting Group. Good night. Good morning. Goodbye.
Bye.